Magandang Tuesday sa inyong lahat. Welcome sa October 6, 2020 edition ng The Stock Market Today. Isang magandang balita, 80 days na lang, Pasko na. Ako po si Benji Chodoro, nag-aanyaya na samahan ninyo ako at sabay nating titignan ang pinaka-latest na balita tungkol sa ating paboritong stocks. Kasama po dyan ang latest na balita sa ABS, at Converge at ang resulta ng trading sa ating PSE ngayong araw, October 6, 2020, dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Bago ang lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating mga reminders. At habang binabasa natin ito, kung first time niyo dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start lang po akong magbigay ng daily stock market report noong August. Ini-invite ko po kayo na mag-subscribe sa aking channel para palagi po tayong updated sa mga balita at impormasyon tungkol sa stock market at ang mga active na stocks sa merkado. Ako po ay isang retired employee ng isa sa pinakamalaking bangko sa Philippines. Naging OFW din po ako nung ma-assign po ako sa aming branch sa Hong Kong bilang head ng compliance at mga 8 months din po akong namalagi sa ibang bansa. At pagkatapos noon ay na-assign po ako di man dapat na maging Chief Compliance Officer ng isang subsidiary ng bangko. And since early 2000 ay nag-start po akong mag-invest regularly sa UITFs pagkatapos ay sa stocks. Tingnan po natin muna ang ating mga balita. Ang una nating balita ay mula sa Manila Times. PSEI stocks gains open in the red. Ito po ay balita natin sa stock exchange yesterday. The main stock index snapped its gaining streak as it opened the trading week in negative territory. And alam po natin na nag-decline ang PSEI ng 1.01% or 60.45 points. Ayon kay AAA Equities Head Christopher Mangun, ang mga blue chips saw minimal trading at the open which showed lack of interest from investors. And sabi pa niya na yung 6,000 level ay isang strong resistance para sa PSE. Isa pang news ay yung tungkol sa ABS-CBN. Ito po ang dahilan kung bakit nag-surge ang stock ng ABS-CBN kahapon. Ang sabi ng Philippine Star, ABS-CBN shares hit surge limit as investors cheer rumor deal with Zoe TV. Shares in ABS-CBN Corp sizzled on Monday amid rumors that the embattled media company signed a deal with another network to facilitate the return of some programs on free television following a government shutdown. ABS-CBN stocks hit a ceiling price of 50% before closing at 10.60, up by 43.9% during the first trading week. So, yun ang dahilan kung bakit tumaas ang presyo ng ABS-CBN. Astro Del Castillo, managing director at First Grade Holdings, said that access to free TV for the Lopez-led network would mean attracting back loyal viewers and with them advertisers that would benefit the company. Next news is from Business World. This is about the Converge IPO. Yesterday I reported that Converge had an IPO price, or was it the other day? Converge had an IPO price of 24 pesos, but now they are cutting the IPO price to 19. Converge ICT Solutions has trimmed the maximum share price for its planned initial IPO this month to generate a maximum of 32.89 billion. The fiber internet provider, which was initially poised to offer its shares at a maximum price of 24 pesos each, has reduced its indicative offer to a maximum of 19 pesos per share after signing agreements with 8 foreign investors. They are reducing the price, and probably because the price is expensive. The company targets to finalize the price of its shares on October 8, open the offer period from October 12 to 16, and list at the PSE main board on October 26. So they plan to use the proceeds to expand its nationwide coverage. Its internet services are currently limited to Luzon. Okay, another news is also from Business World. This is on MWC, and headline was, or is, MWSS targets approval for 2 Laguna de Bay water supply projects by year's end. The regulatory office of the MWSS said it hopes to approve by the end of the year Manila Water Company's East Bay Water Supply Project and AMA Water Corp AMA Bulk Water Supply Project. And this will be an additional water supply to the eastern part of Metro Manila. So according to Mr. T, the East Bay Water Supply Project is estimated to add 250 million liters of water per day, while the AMA Bulk Water Supply Project will provide 50 million liters daily, both sourced from Laguna de Bay. But what I know about the water supply from Laguna de Bay is that they have to have extra filter because the water quality is not very good. This is used on additional water supply for MWC. And finally, from the Philippine Daily Inquirer, telcos double down on fiber rollout as demand competition pick up. Industry giants PLDT and Globe Telecom are accelerating the rollout of fiber internet across the country, spurred by the surge in demand during the COVID-19 pandemic and the entry of competition. So the competition it may be referring to is probably Now and Dito. Okay, Globe Telecom said its fiber rollout in August alone went up over 50% versus 2019. And PLDT has the largest fiber optic network, now spanning 360,000 kilometers. So that's it for the news, and let's take a look at the PSEI and how the PSEI or the index performed today. Ngayon po ay 1:18 at katatapos pa lang po ng trading. Ang Philippine Stock Exchange Index ay natapos sa 5910.64 or 28.31 points lower than the previous close. That's 0.48% drop. Actually, it ended flat, and I can plot the resistance or support. Plot muna natin yung support. Yeah. PSEI. The nearest support is here, and the nearest resistance is here. Actually, ang resistance niya is 6,000. Yan ang sabi ng mga analyst. At yan din ang nakikita kong resistance. And I expect the index to move sideways. So let's take a look at the most active stocks today. So we'll take a look at Dito, Now, MPI, C, Tel, VDO, Merrimart, ICT, JGS, and IDC. So let's go ahead and take a look at Dito. Okay, Dito ended with a short red candlestick but with a long wick, meaning napaka-volatile ng movement niya today. So it reached a high of 8.05 and a low of 520. So if we'll take a look at the intraday movement, tingnan natin sa 5 minutes. Yan. Kailan siya nag-start? Dito, here. It started moving upwards, but towards the 11:45, the price started to fall. Now it reached a peak of 802, and after that the price began to fall, and it went as low as 520, and then recovered to 681. And let's take a look at the daily. Balik natin sa daily. Okay, so nag-profit taking siya today, in other words, and it ended with a red candlestick. So just like the other day, nag-profit taking then, but again, the stock is strong. Let's take a look at the DMI, Directional Movement Index, of more than 30 would still indicate a bullish movement. So it's 59 or almost 60. Tingnan na natin yung RSI. RSI is oversold, but the DMI is over 60, meaning it's still bullish, notwithstanding the RSI. So, again, the next resistance level for Dito, gawin natin 1 week. 1 week time frame. Ito pa rin yung nakikita kong resistance level. Actually, ito yung peak niya. 8. 8 is the resistance. And the support, I would say the nearest support is this. Here, 575. 575 yung nearest support niya. Kung saan siya nag-bounce. The next support is 521. So balik natin sa 1 day. So what do I expect of the stock, or where will the price go? Well, probably the price would go sideways first and consolidate before it will move higher. Or if there is volume in the following day, it will proceed to move higher similar to this. Pero feel ko lang is that baka mag-consolidate muna ito within this area before it either moves higher, or if there are more sellers, then it may go down also. Pero feel ko lang is very bullish ang stock, so pataas siya. Consolidation muna, or it may move higher. Okay, let's go to the next now. Now is napaka-bullish din ito. There is a green candlestick, but there is a long wick indicating that the price reached a high of 639 and then it reached a low of 412. Let's take a look at the intraday, the 5-minute time frame. Okay, what happened here was that in the first minutes of trading, the price continued to climb before prices fell and then recovered again back to 4.98. So tumaas muna siya, bumagsak, tapos ito yung closing. So opening, closing, positive siya. Kung titignan mo yung day time frame. Diba? Kasi mas mataas yung closing kasi sa opening. And there is also a lot of volume. In fact, this is number 2 among the most active stocks. What do I think of the stock and where will the price go? Let's take a look at the 1-week time frame. Take a look at the 1-week time frame. It reached a high of 639, but the nearest resistance, this is the support, but I guess this will become the resistance now, is about 725. 725 is the nearest resistance. 720, about 720. And the nearest support is, I would say, here. $440. I would say 440 is the nearest support because there is a resistance level here and a support level here which can become a resistance. So 553 is the first resistance is 553, while the second resistance is 721, and the support level that I see is here. Ito yung nearest support niya, 369 is the nearest support. Okay, let's take a look. Balik natin sa 1 day. And where do I think the stock will go? Just like dito, I think that the stock may move higher if there is volume. However, the normal course of a breakout actually is that it will first consolidate before it moves. It will tend to move higher. However, if the stock is very strong, it may move higher the following day. It's either mag-consolidate or mag-move higher. So let's take a look at the DMI. The Directional Movement Index is also high, 57. A DMI of more than 30 would indicate a very bullish trend. And there is volume. So I would think that the stock would continue to move higher because volume is extraordinarily large. Okay, let's now go to MPI. MPI had a short green candlestick today. Take a look at the indicator. Okay, so it moved higher, but just 0.03. And again, there is volume on the stock. So what does this mean? There is a gap here which will have to be filled soon. But because there is volume, I think the stock would still move higher in the coming days. You see the indicators, the 20-day exponential moving average, the 50-day EMA, and the 100-day EMA are all lined up, indicating a bullish trend. Okay, let's now go to C, another active stock. C is a company also owned by the same owner of Dito. So it ended up at 590, a red candlestick. And probably, sa akin lang naman kasi is nagpahinga lang to. And if Dito moves higher, then the stock would move higher. So sa akin, parang nagpahinga lang itong si C. Let's take a look at the DMI. DMI is also 57, so it's still bullish. And the RSI is also bullish. But ang pwede mangyari is, again, mag-consolidate ito before moving higher. Or it may move higher if there is enough volume to push the stock up. So let's take a look at, okay, resistance muna. Lagay natin yung resistance niya. Let's use the 1 week time frame. Okay, the nearest resistance is 656. 663. I see it here. 6.60 or 6 to 6.70 is the nearest resistance. And after that, the next resistance na is mga 7, I think. 738. Yan yung next resistance level niya. Kasi pagdating dito, nag-bounce eh. Sa first resistance, nag-overshoot ng konti, pero nag-bounce. Nag-overshoot ng konti, pero bumalik. Yan. Okay, let's take a look at TEL. Okay, TEL continues to move sideways. Tignan natin kung meron ibang news. Continues to move sideways and it is at support level. Yan, nasa support siya. The nearest resistance is here. And without a... Dapat kasi sumasabay ito sa dito, pero hindi eh. Hindi siya sumasabay eh. The nearest resistance at 1395 and the nearest support at 1329. And there was net foreign selling on the stock. Sideways lang ang kanyang movement. Okay, let's take a look at BDO. Normally, yung mga blue chips like BDO and TEL and JGS, MPI, they are not very volatile. Minsan lang nagiging volatile, but they are very stable in terms of prices. Okay, BDO is still sitting at support. Napakababa pa rin ang presyo niya. Support level niya. So, bumaba siya ngayon. And I expect the stock to move sideways. With this kind of, meron siya net foreign selling today. So, it dropped by 1.75 points. And if you'll take a look, if you're a long-term investor, ayan o, ang taas nung peak niya is mga 160. That was January this year. So that was the peak of BDO. And now it's just at this level. And I expect the stock to move sideways. So let's take a look at Merrimart. Another popular stock. Okay, sideways pa rin ang movement ni Merrimart at 302. But there's net foreign buying. So sideways pa rin siya, which has its support here. So if you'll see the indicators piercing through the candlesticks. Yan o. Nagpipierce through siya. Ang ibig lang sabihin po niyan ay nagko-consolidate or moving sideways. Now, if the candlestick moves higher and the indicator is under the candlestick, that will indicate a bullish trend. But there's net foreign buying in Merrimart. So let's now go to ICT. ICT had a good day today, 3.6 points higher, and it continues to move higher. So from here to here, tingnan natin yung pattern ng EMA20, and most of the time it is under the candlestick that would indicate a bullish trend. Here kasi is that nagko-consolidate lang siya, but here, when it went higher, nag-consolidate ng konti, and then it even moved higher. Now, here, all three indicators are lined up in order, and that would indicate a bullish trend. Even the RSI is also bullish. However, the volume is just average, so it can go either way. It can go upward, or it may move sideways before moving upwards. Normally kasi sa isang pullback, nagko-consolidate muna yan with very low volume before it surges upwards. So I expect the stock to move sideways before moving upwards. And there was net foreign selling of 8.19 million. Let's go to JGS. Let's take a look at the resistance first. Resistance niya, the nearest resistance is here, 124. Yeah, 124 to 125 ang nearest resistance. Well, the nearest support, balik natin sa 1 day. Nearest support is here. Okay. So let's go to JGS. JGS is consolidating. It ended up in the green in 1, 2, 3, 4. In 4 out of 5 days. Kahapon lang nag-red candlestick siya. Then there's dividend. The dividend is 5%. Oh, stock dividend. Meron siyang stock dividend of 5%. And the ex-date is October 27. That means that if you bought the stock now and you held the stock until October 27, meron po kayong 5% dividend on the stock. So if you have 100 shares, for example, you bought 100 shares on October 6. Tama ba? October 6. And you held the shares up to October 27, then you are entitled to 5 shares additional. 5 shares, 5% of 100. Okay, so let's now go to JGS. Okay, it's moving sideways. And actually, nasa resistance to. Ito, 63 is already the resistance. So, maaring bumaba lang yan the following day, moving sideways. Or maaring tumaas dahil may dividend. And the support is, nearest support is here. A slight overshoot lang dito, but I see the nearest support here. Okay, the last is IDC. IDC had a engulfing red candlestick. So bumaba si IDC today. Yesterday there was what appears to be a breakout, but right now the profit taking and bumaba yung presyo. There's net foreign buying of 2.35. Let's take a look at the intraday 5-minute time frame. So what happened here was that at the start of the day, the price began to climb, and then dito sa mga bandang 10, the price began to drop. Pagdating ng mga 10:35, nag-consolidate and tumaas ng konti, and then bumagsak ulit pagdating dito starting on 11:40. Then after at 12:15, there was a sign of reversal. There's a hammer here. Tapos nag-recover siya to close at 2:49. Balik natin sa 1 day. So, right now, here's the 1 week. The nearest resistance is actually nag-bounce siya sa resistance. Ito yung resistance niya. Nag-bounce siya sa resistance or nauntog sa resistance. At ang support niya, as I see, ito, support na rin to. Dito tayo sa 1 day. Ito na yung pinaka-support niya. This one. 236. The resistance is 324. And I expect the stock to probably move sideways muna before either moving up or breaking down. Depends on there is the sentiment of the market. If there is still a bullish sentiment, then it will continue to move up. But if there is a sentiment or without a catalyst, it may continue to move sideways. Okay, balikan po natin ang ating summary. To summarize, 57 stocks advanced, 144 declined, and 53 remained unchanged. There was net foreign selling at 863.7 million. Total volume was 2.09 billion, valued at 8.08 billion. As for the market indices, all the market indices were in the red today, and this was led by the industrials with 1.41%, while the all-share index also had a decline today at 0.42%. Yan po ang ating report sa stock market, October 6, 2020. Thank God it's a Tuesday. Abangan po ninyo ang aking special episode on the PSEI Index. All you need to know about the Philippine Stock Exchange Index, malapit na pong ipalabas. Ito po si Benji Chodoro, lagi nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Magkita-kita po tayo muli sa next episode. Maraming salamat and bye for now.